Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm JJ Crossing and this is my new island, Frostbite. Let's see who's here. Mac, he was just talking to Audie, so they've obviously been nice to each other. Look at him. And then he's like, yeah, I'll stop now. And nobody else is here. I'm not sure where Audie went. Oh, there she is. There's Audie. Today's build will be resident services. I will continue with this bit of terraforming that I did in my entrance. My only issue is I will have to leave this little bit here because, as you can see, my museum is right here and I am not upgrading my museum, so I will have to figure out a way to get to the museum. I might do it like a blocked off way so that you can only come via the resident services and then the museum. I don't know. I may have to upgrade it, which I don't want to do because it's a bit, I thought it was too far. Well, I think it's too far from the resident services, but then when I put it there, I thought it was too close. I'll see what I can do. I hope I don't have to upgrade it to move it, but we'll figure that out another day. But today is the rest of resident services. I will continue to do this bit and down here. I'm not sure what's going this side because, again, the museum. So I'll start with what I've said I'll start with and just see how we get on as to whether I do more or not. So let's just go get this resident services done. Let's go. I'm going to start with the terraforming just to get a feel of how I want it. I know I want the incline here, so we will do that first with the terraforming. I'm not sure how it's going to look, but we're just gonna go with it like always and see what we come up with. I always start, well no, I don't know if I always start, but most of the time I do start with the terraforming because it's easier. I do the terraforming and then sometimes the path and then go from there. Because sometimes it's easier to get your shape for the terraforming and then do whatever. I don't know what I'm doing with the island. All I know is that I'm having all wharfs and my museum and shop are not going to be upgraded and it's a winter forest. I have no builds, nothing in mind. Thank you for all the comments on my entrance build regarding the terraforming and you wanting to see the terraforming or not. I have decided to edit a bit differently to what I did with Jingle, because Jingle I sped up my terraforming but left me decorating in slow motion, like normal speed mode, whatever you call it. I didn't speed that bit up and my videos for Jingle were so long, whereas on this island, Frostbite, I have sped up the whole video, so the decorating and the terraforming, and then spoken over it. I think that will be my way of editing for now, because Jingle's videos, with its slow motion or regular normal speed of Animal Crossing, my recordings were so long, and editing them down with my talking as well was just so long, and then the video was still long anyway. So I think for now I will speed up the whole video, like the building, like the terraform and decorating, and then obviously talk over the top, not necessarily about what I'm placing here and what I'm placing there, but just general chit chat. So I'll see how I get on with this new way of editing, and then we'll decide how it's going to go afterwards. I like the new way of editing where it's all sped up, and then the talking will just be whatever I decide to talk about that day while I'm recording. So it could make sense to you what I'm talking about, it may not. And right now I'm making no sense, so there's an example for you. I did get Sky. She replaced Quilson because Quilson left. I couldn't I couldn't get my incline in my entrance because Quilson did move out. Yeah, I found Sky. Well, no, I technically didn't find Sky. I went to a treasure island because I left it so late because I was busy. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, I love terraforming. Absolutely love terraforming. But when you've got to fill in the build, like fill it all in, it does get long. Too long. I love it, but it's just so long. And I don't like decorating. I hate decorating. I really do. Please tell me I'm not the only one that hates decorating. Because I know I can't be the only one. No way. I refuse to believe that I'm the only one that hates decorating in this game. Even though I still play it and decorate. It don't make sense. What do you prefer, decorating or terraforming? I prefer terraforming, but it's so long. So long. Obviously it's not long for you guys when it's sped up, but it's so long. But then also decorating can be long. It depends on if you have the items or you know what items you're using and you know how it's going. I have decided on the island I will be using the natural incline, and I will also be using, I think it's the log bridge, the flat one. I think it's called the log bridge. I don't even know, to be honest, but it's the flat wood one. As I said in my entrance, there will be a lot of trees because it is a forest core. I will also be having a few cliff edge trees. I may forget to do them for the whole build or the whole island, but for now, in this build, I will put a cliff tree. It will be around somewhere in the build, and I have shown step by step how it is, where you just put the water in front of the cliff and then do your terraforming around it. I will just be doing this area around resident services. I won't be taking it too far because I need to leave areas in the sense of I don't know what way I'm doing a path or anything. So there will be a lot of empty spaces. Could have been like, well, JJ, you could fill that out. But no, I will be doing it as and when I need to do the areas. I am recording this video on the 9th of January, and here in the UK it is absolutely freezing. Is it cold anywhere else? Because it's too cold for me. I hate being cold, especially when my feet are cold. The rest of me is cold. I don't even know what the temperature is here, but it's cold, very cold. I will be using the log fence because I really like this fence. Well, I really like the log fence. So that will be in my builds as well. At the minute, I really am enjoying this island. I do like a forest core. I'm just hoping I can pull it off in the sense of get the right views and try and decorate it, but not over decorate. Well, no, I will over decorate it, but not over decorating items. I will try to limit my trees and bits like bushes, but I make no promises. It's not going to happen because it's a forest core, so the trees, bushes, flowers, pumpkins, whatever, wheat field are needed. So a forest core, I know I don't have to limit it in that sense because of what it is, the theme it is. But I really enjoyed my entrance build. Even though it was unfinished, I did finish it, but I did really enjoy doing my entrance, so I'm hoping I will enjoy doing the rest of the island. I will have to come up with some ideas to go on the island and how I want to decorate and all of that, because right now I have no plans for the island for builds, so I need to figure out what's going where. Well, not necessarily what's going where, but like for my nooks and ables and museum, I will have to figure out what I'm doing round them, near them, if it's going to be sunken or all of that, because I do want to put a few sunken areas on this island and a few land bridges, maybe one or two, I don't know yet, but I do want to add sunken areas and land bridges. So that's something for me to think about and pre-plan in a sense of where I may have them. It may not be the case of me pre-planning them, it just be a case of me turning it on and start recording and be like, okay, right, I can put a land bridge here. So that's may what happen. But I will try to plan a few builds. I made no promises again, because I just wing my builds, apart from my entrance that I had to plan a little bit more so of where I was putting the incline, because I wanted the incline in, so I had to plan that in the sense of spacing, but it was only the outline. I didn't know what was going where, I didn't know about the path or anything like that, so that's another thing. I don't pre-plan my builds, so maybe I may have to start pre-planning builds, to be honest, because I always come on here and then I'll start recording, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to wing it 99% of the time. Winging it happens. I just raid my storage shed and there's a build. But I don't know, I'm not a pre-planning person, so I think again that's something I need to think about, instead of just coming here and be like, oh, we're just going to do this today, but I have no idea how, what, why, where, when. So yeah, I will try and figure that out. I quite like the idea of a lake. It will take up a bit of space because it's a lake. But yeah, I'm considering a lake. Let me know if you think I should do a lake on the island. I might actually put the lake near the back of my island and do it as a viewing point so you see all the trees and bits in the background. I don't know. I've only just thought about that, so I need to think on it. For this island, I want to try and scatter my villager houses around, because of a lot of my islands I have done them so they are in a neighbourhood, apart from the odd few that I've put here and there. So this island, my aim is to scatter them around instead of an actual neighbourhood. So I will try to do that. Well, I want to do that. I just need to remember that I need to put houses all over instead of one area, because I always seem to leave the houses till last as well, like within the neighbourhood, and it's always at the back in the corner of my island. So I want to try and get out of that habit and scatter my houses on this island. And that is the end of this build. It's not really much, it's just trees and decorating, terraforming, a lot of terraforming. But we did do this. I did put a windmill. I don't know why, I just felt like putting a windmill. I have obviously left space for other builds, because like I said, with my entrance here, this will lead wherever it's going. I'm not sure where it's leading. I just wanted to get this bit of resident services done. This will then obviously lead to wherever. And then we did this. My only problem is I've done this terraforming. I have left this bit because my museum is there. So this bit of cliff might be knocked down, so I have more space for my museum, because I don't really want to move that if I can help it. So I want to keep the museum how it is. So that's why I've not done this side of resident services, because I don't know if this is staying. I shall decide over time, decide when I get to my museum whether I want this bit to be like a little walkway, and then this down here may have to change a little bit, but not much, just a little walkway to get into the museum. And then we did filled all this bit in down here. I just filled this in, and of course the fishing tourney is here because I had to time travel to put my incline in, and I didn't realise. But I just put a few bits and pieces here just to fill that in, and then just this here, which may or may not stay depending on how I do the museum. I haven't done this bit of resident services because, again, museum, I don't know how that's going, and I was considering maybe doing like a path here and having the cliff here, but again, I didn't want to build it all up to then decide to knock it down to have a walkway that way for the museum. So the museum will either be a walkway or an incline going down into it. I'm not quite sure yet. And that is all for today's build. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you all back here for the next build. Bye guys.